Good day and welcome to this Tekla Structures training video. In this video, we're working on Tekla Structures 2022 Service Pack 5. So in this video, we're going to work on how to create standalone plates along with your function of using your standalone plates creating them using construction objects as well. So just quickly, so what we're going to work with today will be to create a standalone bent plate and to create a lofted plate. Now I'm going to start off with the create a standalone plate. Now this one works very good if you want to create a cone. So the first thing is that you need to do is you need to get your starting point. So basically your center point. So I'm going to choose my center point. Oh, sorry about that. Center point. The next is you need to choose the radius. So the bottom radius, what it should be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it 2500. Next up, you have to choose how far it should go. Now, what we're going to do is I'm just going to click it currently, for instance, over here. The next part will be to choose the height. So you have to choose the height. Currently, this is that direction. This is upwards direction. I'm going to choose 1500, for instance. And the next part will be to choose your radius at the bottom. Now, radius at the bottom, I'm going to go with just 600. Right. It didn't do what I wanted to do, so I'm going to choose, I'm just going to recreate it because, 1200, choose it to, oh, sorry about that, choose it to there, and choose not negative 1500, and we're going to choose 600 for the top, and there we go. Next up, I'm going to choose for the angle to be 359. Now, reason for 359, you give it a small gap for welding, or you can even make it 359.8 or 0.9. So it's so close as possible, as you can see. Now, do take note, your radius is in the center of your profile, so you can't edit it over here. So if your OD was supposed to be 600, you need to make this as 597 and you need to make this as 1197. There we go. So then we have a cone that has a total OD at the top. So edit, choose measuring tool. So originally this would read, okay, it's a bit off, but 1200. So that's the OD of 1200, radius of 600. Now, the reason it's 121 is because I didn't click it exactly in the middle. I choose a further point. So yeah, there we go. We have a radius. This is our cone. So this is one way of creating your cones. There's another way to create cones. You can go to your steel, choose your beam function. You choose your beam function over here, and you can now go to your SPD and an ESPD, and you can create it over here. So first radius, which is the bottom, is 1200. The radius at the bottom part is 600. And again, this is 1200, 600, and a thickness of 6, for instance. Apply, press OK, and you can now choose your function. Almost forgot. Let's just choose a point. Go. And now we can choose the function, place it over here. Oh, I actually kind of screwed that one up, sorry. Let's just quickly go back. I choose the wrong one. So D1, R1, yes, and R2, sorry, R2 should also be the exact same one, which is 1200. 600. And D2 should be 600, R1 and R2 should. One should be 600, one should be 1200. I'm just going to take it around. Let's first do this. There we go. Right, so there we have a cone as well. And you have it, but now on your drawings, it will appear as an S ESPD and this entire name, where this will just appear as a plate. So PLT 10, change it to 6. So yeah, this is what happens with that part. So we can now I'm just going to delete that. So that's another way of making a cone, but again, like I said, this one is preferred because it's made out of a pure plate and not just an ESPD or EPSD, whatever it was called, ESPD. Right, so this is how you can create a cone with a standalone plate. You can create other things as well. And what's fun is when you use the ESPD part, it is quick, yes, but as soon as you line cut it, it can no longer be unfolded and it gives out an error. What I'm going to do actually is just undo everything quickly. There we go. And we're going to just say this should be in the middle. There we go. Right, so as you can see, 500 radiuses. Now again, this one picks up the entire OD. So in reality, we should actually have made this 2, 4. 2, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2. There we go. So now it's exactly the same as the other one. Okay, so I'm going to show you now what happens. Let's say you have this entire item right here, and you can choose your edit line. You can say line cut, choose this point, and there we go. So we have half of what it is. So what you can do with your current item on this one, if you want only the half, you can just change. So I'm going to copy, because I'm going to show you the difference when it comes to the drawings. So I'm going to choose this one. We're going to make this 1 small p. Sorry about that. We're going to make this the second one, so 2 small p, and we're going to make this one 3 small p. There we go. So this one, we want half, so our angle would be 180. So this one is exactly the same as this one. We can even say move special rotate to give it exactly the same one, so choose 90. And there we go. So now it looks exactly like this one. You agree with the cut line, just take it away. Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to show you what will be the difference when we do drawings on this part. But first, we're going to do the last part of this video. So in this video, the next part would be to go to your edit and choose an arc function. Now you can do this with a circle as well, but you have to use 2 circles, but the drawings doesn't work out as you wish. So I'm going to use an arc point right now. So I'm going to choose my point. I'm going to say again 1197 because that is deducted by the 3 millimeters, and there's the half of it. So now the next part is we're going to create the construction line with, let's say, 1500, but again 1497 because from center. Copy this, do this, choose these 2, there we go. And now I can draw a construction line that goes again, let's say it is 2000, so it's 1197. That's way too short actually. Let's increase this one. Let's change this one. Let's make it a bit bigger. So let's choose this point. Let's make it 3 meters in total, so it's 2997. So now we can choose the copy function from this point to this point, and we can now draw the final construction line from this point to this point. There we go. So now we have the box. So what we're going to create now is a box or a square or rectangular form to a circle form. So the next part would be to use a poly curve. Choose these points, just put it in, middle button to finish the function, and we can now delete all the construction lines. For instance, there we go. Choose this item and we say how high it should be. So I'm going to move special linear. I'm going to make it 2.5 as well. So there we go. Now, when you work with a rectangular to circle item, it's usually split up in 2 when they manufacture it. So we're going to go to our steel function now, choose the create lofted plate. So you use it with the construction object. Now, you can't use a complete circle and then a square or half a square item. The reason is it needs basically it needs an endpoint. So endpoint to endpoint, as you can see, if it goes up, go this way, and back down, and circle it up. So there we go. Now this is what you're going to have. Copy special mirror and choose these 2 points right over here, copy it over. So this is how it's going to look like. Okay, this is just very big. Just remember, I'm just quickly drawing it to show you how the functions work. So there we go. This is how they're going to manufacture it in 2 pieces, welded together to give you this type of concept. Okay. Now these 2 items I'm going to call 4 small p. There we go. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4. So 4 will have 1 and number 2. If you wanted to, the best way to make it sure that it is exactly the same is to copy special rotate, not mirror. So let's rotate it. Hopefully there will only be 4 drawings now, 2 of this one, and well, the rest. So I'm going to choose my master drawing catalog. Already performed numbering on modified objects. Choose your rule set. Say create drawings from all parts. There we go. So docket manager, and okay, whatever this is, I'm going to delete it because it's not needed. Yes, and yes, whatever you may have been. Right, so now, of course, I forgot. It's marked with the assemblies, but okay, B1 will probably be this one right here. Yes, called it. B4 would probably be this one. B5, PA5, and PA6 will be both of these, as you can see. All right, now I'm going to show you now what happens with each part. So let's first do the PA4. So if you have PA4 and you choose your unfolded plate function, so I'm going to choose plate unfolded, and I'm going to say modify and say yes. Now, as you can see, it unfolds it exactly how it's going to look like before they roll it to the specifications that they have. So there we go. This is correct. You can now dimension it. Again, I'm not going to do that because I'm just showing you how the Tekla works, not how to do steel detailing. So I'm going to press P for previous. Now this is the full one, as you can see. This is the full one. And again, if you unfold it, it's supposed to unfold it completely now. And there we go. So now you have a completely unfolded item. As you can see, this is how it's going to look like. Now, when I say P again, we're going to get the boxed one. So the boxed one should look something in the following concept. Just follow the mouse cursor. It will go a line. It will go to the bottom and back to a line down. And it will go to the circle, make the arc go back up. That's how it should actually look like. So let's choose our plate unfolded function again. I'm going to say yes. It's going to recreate it and we're going to edit it ourselves. Now this is going to take a while because it has a lot. These lines is connecting lines basically. So it's going to put the dimension to each one of them. So now it's just rendering all the dimensions to read into it. So while we wait, I'm going to explain to you now the next step after we've done this. Oh, there we go. So I'm just going to choose the dimensions. We're going to delete it. Choose the cursor again. There we go. And as you can see, go line down, down to the arc, to the arc. So that is how it will look like, and then it will fold it from this point to this point. Will fold this and fold this part to get your square item. All right. Now for the last one. Now this is why I don't use. Okay. The reason it looks like this. Okay, this is going to take a little while to open up the property tab, but the reason this is because cut parts is on, so I'm going to take the cut parts off just to show you how the item now currently looks like. But you're going to see what is the problem with using this function that you're using right now with the ESPD part. So I'm just going to say okay. I'm just waiting for it to load. Okay, so now you can see this is how it looks like. It is correct in that method. But now you see the profile reads ESPD 2400, 2400, 120, and you can't read any further. If you press next, you'll see that this one reads PL and 5001 3220, but it's a plate, and all of them read as a plate. Now you saw this is the half one. Now you created this one for half one. Now as soon as I choose my function and say plate unfolded to keep it at the A3 and I modify it, you'll see now it just does this. And the reason is because you line cut it. So this function doesn't really work if you have half a cone. Now sometimes it will have half a cone to wrap around a column, concrete column for protection or whatever, or for beauty, whatever you want to call it. So now you see the problem with using the ESPD is firstly the name, secondly you can't really use the function if you cut parts out of it. So there we go. So these are the different methods of using to create cones and so on. Now the last one that you can use, but again this one doesn't work. It doesn't work as it should. I'm going to show you now. You can either use, if you use a construction arc point for instance, it will work. So let's choose this part. I'm just going to put it over here. Choose this line, the radius. Okay, that's the problem. We can almost nearly complete it again. So I'm just going to put it over there. Let's do this. Again, the line should not meet. So if we say measuring tool from this point to this point, still, oh, it's a very large gap. That will not do. Okay. Oh, the construction line's off. Okay, let's choose this one. Okay, that will work better. Yeah, so that's close enough. Okay, we can change radius again to 1200 for instance, or 1197. And we can copy this upwards. And we change this to 597. There we go. So now we can choose again the steel function, choose the plate, choose this lofted plate, choose points to points. There we go. So now we have another cone part, as you can see. Now the second part or function you can use, and like I said, you can use this function and it will work. But now if you use the the circle, sorry about that, and we choose the 1197, oh shit, sorry, construction line, click quick, 1197, there we go. So we're going to copy this upwards again and change this to 597. Go, steel, create, lofted plate, there we go. So now we have these two items. Now originally, as you can see, there is a line there, but now when you run your drawings, this will no longer be the case. It won't work as it should. So let's perform numbering on modified objects, and we're going to say master drawing catalog again. We're going to create drawings of these two items. I'm going to use plate unfolded function on it just to show you what happens. So we can choose the rule set. We can choose, now again, I created my own drawing settings, so you can use the Cheetah B or well, whatever it is you use. So we're going to go to our docket manager. I'm going to choose these two items, and okay, here they are, PA7. Now let's first see, PA7 is this one. This one is the one that we created with the arc function, and this one is the one that we created with the circle function. So PA7 will work, PA8 will not. So I'm going to go with properties. I'm going to choose the unfold function again. On A3, modify. Do you wish to recreate it? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Okay, so let's open it up. Right, so as you can see, this is the one, PA7, and we're going to go with previous, and now PA8. As you can see, this is not correctly done. I mean, I don't know why it has this plate right or this line right here, as you can see. So this is not how it should look like. And once you create your NC files, this is what you'll get. So I'm going to show you now quickly. So as you can see, using the circle function, you can't unfold it. So rather use the standalone function, or even this function. I use the arc function for, well, both these things. Like I said, this one as well. I will not use the ESPD, and I would rather just use the create lofted item or the standalone item. So now I'm going to choose all of these items. I'm going to say export. I'm going to say NC files. I'm going to say plates. I'm just going to choose profiles because I don't know if it will pick up as a plate or profile. So let's create it. There we go. So now if you choose your DSTV function, it will have, I don't know why it opened twice. Okay, it has PA4, 5, 7, and 8. Now 4, 5, 7, 8. Why didn't it choose 6? Oh, 6 is this one. TechCloud, well, struggles to understand how to do 6. But okay, so we just saw what's this part right here? So P4, 5, 7, 8. So it created from all of them except from this one. Right. So again, as you can see, that did not work as it should. So I'm going to say open this. I'm going to say open it up so we can see how it works. Now again, PA8, if you open it with AutoCAD now, you'll see that again, it will not be correctly exported and will not look good. All right, so I'm just waiting for it to quickly load as it should. It opened up on my left side. No, I don't want to open a readme only. I want to open it as it should. Okay, so as you can see, this is what it picks up. This is not how it should look. It should actually have, for instance, this arc should go to this points because it should come like this, arc around. So this is not correct. So originally, I'm just going to explode it quickly. Hopefully it works as it should. So I'm going to remove these, and you're going to choose, for instance, these two. I'm going to see if this works. Extend. It extends. So in reality, this is what we're supposed to have. All right. No one has the time to do this. Oh, I'm not going to save it. Sorry. So I'm going to minimize it now. I'm going to open up 7. And there you go. As you can see, that's what it needed to be. So you have to actually go edit your items just to get it correctly on how it should look like. So that's why I would never use the circle function for a cone. I would rather use the arc function or the create standalone plate function as I've shown you in this video. So there you go. This is basically how you do it and how you need to create all your standalone items. Now just remember, like I said, this is just for showing you how the program works. I'm not going to show you how to detail it. So thank you very much and enjoy your day.